What is going on, guys? Sonic and the Bean Show here. Today we're looking at the brand new NECA, the Nightmare Before Christmas Jack Skellington figure. So this is their new Jack Skellington figure to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is one of my favorite Christmas and Halloween movies, so I'm really looking forward to what we got going on here. So let's look over the packaging real quick. I do apologize for the lighting, because this whole thing is plastic, so the lighting's going to be in the way, and this thing is really tall too, by the way. Let me move this out the way because I needed something to hold this. But here is the packaging. It's going to be kind of hard to try to get this whole thing on frame right here. But over here we do got Disney, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and then there's Jack right here. But of course we also have the figure and then the accessories, and then there's nothing much else going on at the bottom. So that is pretty much the front right there. But then the back does show some shots of the figure right there, The Nightmare Before Christmas, and then we got some more description here at the bottom, and then the barcode. And that's pretty much that. That's pretty much the packaging. It's really annoying because there's so much glaring around it, but yeah, that's pretty much that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this out of the packaging and take a closer look. Okay, so here it is right here. You can see that I can't even get the whole thing in shot right here because the figure is about 9 inches tall. But what's crazy is that this guy can actually stand on his own. So look at that. He is standing perfectly fine, actually, which is nice. I was a little worried because his feet are really small and he's really thin and tall. He's not top heavy or anything, but I didn't think he was actually going to stand, so that's cool right there. But I will say, this is actually a pretty nice Jack Skellington figure. Let me just get in a little closer here. But I don't know, I personally think NECA did a really good job with this guy. So they made Nightmare Before Christmas figures in the past. I would know because my sister really loves this movie, and she had a lot of their older figures. But the difference I'm seeing, or difference at least what I can remember, is that this one right here, the tuxedo is all cloth this time. It's not going to be like a hard plastic that's going to be molded onto the figure compared to that one. It's weird trying to get this guy in frame just because of how tall he is. It might be annoying because I feel like sometimes when you're doing articulation, it can kind of get bunched up, like right here, for example. But I do think it looks pretty good. You can see you can actually move this right here. You can roll the sleeves up. Of course, this is all hard PVC. I believe just the head sculpt is actually just painted, or well, the head sculpt and the hands really, but the entire body is a hard PVC. It's all white molded plastic really. And then of course this is painted, and that's actually sculpted onto the figure. The bow tie right here, you can't really remove this or anything. That is sculpted onto the figure, and it's a soft PVC near the ends right here. But this part is a hard plastic. I like the button right here. This is an actual button, which is interesting. So here's a closer look at the head sculpt right here, and I think this one actually looks pretty good. So the eyes are actually sculpted. There is actually a divot between the eyes here. The nose is really just painted though, but the mouth is of course open. You can see the yellow teeth, and then the stitches right here that are painted really. But I don't know, I think it actually does capture the likeness of Jack Skellington right here. I think this actually looks pretty good. And then coming on down here are the hands right here, and these hands, they're not really the same. They're actually different, as you can see. This one, you can see how the fingers are compared to how this one is. This one's a little bit more open, and these are painted, the black lines that they got going on here. So that looks pretty good. Okay, now jumping into the accessories, this is probably the biggest disappointment here on this figure. There's not really a lot of accessories. So you have this pumpkin right here, and this is a pretty great pumpkin. I think the sculpt on this is pretty nice. You can see it kind of has a derpy sort of look. How the eye is smaller here. It's kind of a little bit higher this time. But I mean, the sculpt is pretty nice. I mean, you can't really look inside the jack-o'-lantern or anything like that. but I mean, it's pretty nice, you know. And then here's the bottom. That's just to have a jack hold on to it, you know, for posing. But yeah, I think overall this is a pretty nice accessory right here. And then the other accessory is really just the stand. This is just, you know, to hold jack, but you can see he's perfectly fine. But I feel like this is just good for, you know, if you want to do a pose where the leg, you know, you're moving the leg or something like that, because I'm not sure how well he would stand if you want to mess around with the leg. So that's basically what this is for. Let me move jack for a second so I can show how this is. But as you can see, you do have like this clamp right here, you know, it got like these hinges, and then you can, you know, of course use that to hold on you know, to the jack figure if you want to do that. But you can rotate this, as you can see, and then there's another hinge right there, and then another one at the bottom, and there's actually pegs right here, and that's because Jack does have peg holes at the bottom of his feet, so you can put him on these pegs right here. And you can actually, you know, remove this. You can remove this, and then you can remove this as well. So you can remove this, and then this right here, along with this clamp right here. You can remove that. So that's nice if you know, you don't want to, you know, make this too long or so. You can just easily just pop these off, and they're going to be separate like this anyway when you take everything out of the packaging. But I thought I would show that off if you want to know what you're getting into. But that's pretty much all the accessories. So there's no like interchangeable head sculpts, which sucks because Jack is a really expressive character. So no like angry expression, no, you know, worried expression or anything like that. There's no interchangeable hands. There's no Zero, you know, no other pumpkins. So yeah, that's pretty disappointing right there. Okay, now getting into the articulation, I'm really curious on how well this guy poses, but for the head, it's pretty much just on a single ball peg, but you do get some pretty nice movement, as you can see. So he can't really look down though, unfortunately. This is as much, you can probably have him to just look down, and to look up, it's not too bad. You know, you can have him look up just about here. Well, let me fix his posture a little bit, but you can have him look up just about there, and then to the side, you know, just about there. It's not too bad. I think that's actually pretty good. But of course you have your full rotation right there as well. Now for the shoulders, you do have a full rotation there, and hinge to the shoulder, it can I think it can only go just up about here. Let's try this arm for a bit. Yeah, so you can only go up about just about here. So you know, you can do like your full on T pose going on there. Can't believe I gotta zoom out just because of how long his arms are. But you do have your single jointed elbows. Yeah, I think this is about single jointed elbows right here. Not too bad. It can, I think it's about, actually I think it's better. Nope, I think it's just about 90 really. So your single jointed elbows, but you do have rotation going on there too. For the wrist, so you can actually swivel the wrist, but the joint right here is kind of interesting. So if I roll up the sleeves, there is like, you can get it to like a hinge, but it's kind of weird because there's like an opening right here, and you can only like turn to where that opening is, because if I turn anywhere else, as you can see, it's nowhere else, and it's just only here. So wherever you turn that, you can turn at the wrist, but I can't turn it anywhere else. So that is odd right there, but I mean, yeah, that's pretty much that. I wonder if I can see, maybe I can I, oh yeah, there you go. See, I just popped it off, and I want to see how the elbow is, if that's the same. Okay, yeah, so the elbow is about the same as well. It's the same thing as the wrist right here, as you can see. So it's the same way where like you can turn this and then just kind of move this wherever you want, really. It's really squeaky, by the way. Now for the torso, okay, so yeah, it feels like it's just a single ball peg, so you can have him back. Wow, hold on. Wow, you can actually have him go back, I'd say, wow. I'd say maybe about there. I don't want to pop it off, but that is really impressive right there. And then forward, actually it can only go just about this forward. I feel like if I feel like I'll probably pop it off if I move it anymore. But wow, that is insane right there. To the side, the side's pretty decent too. You get that much. Hold on, let me move these shoulders out the way. Like, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so the side's not too bad. So that's pretty good. But yeah, you know, you get some movement out of there. I'm not feeling anything for like a lower portion for the torso. And then of course, you know, you can rotate this as well if you want. Now for the hips, out to the side, let's see. Wow, okay, so out to the side is incredible. Look at that. Can't even show all of his, like, all the legs right here. The guy can do full-on splits. That is amazing. So that's how much you get out to the side. And then going forward, see how well that is. Wow, look, I can't even show the whole foot. He can kick really high. That is impressive. And then going back about the same way. Look at that. So you have that, and single jointed knees. I'm assuming it's going to be the same way as the elbows. So you get that much for the single jointed knees right there. And you also get a swivel as well. Now for the ankles. Okay, so you get your rotation there. Let me actually zoom in a little bit. But you do have your full rotation, and it's basically going to be that same joint where, like, you can, if I can, you know, you can sort of move it up, but you would have to rotate that on another direction if you want to move it anywhere else though. So yeah, ankles not really the best. Pretty much that. I mean, it's not terrible. I think what's really cool is if I put his hips like this, and then I can have him kick up, and then put like his back like this. Like, look at that. That is just wild. So articulation on this guy, I mean, he can move. I'll admit that, like, he can actually move. And I mean, I don't think the tux is like hindering anything. Like, the tux, the quality for the tux is actually pretty well done. I think this guy overall looks pretty nice. I mean, I feel like I'm holding like an actual Jack Skellington like prop figure, honestly. I think it looks really good, but articulation isn't really too bad on this guy. I will say double jointed elbows and knees would have been a lot better, because where did I put, like, for example, it would have been nice if you were able to do this pose where he's like crossing his you know, his arms right here. I wish you were able to do that, but he doesn't have you know, the double jointed elbows, unfortunately, because they can only just go just about here. I mean, you can still kind of cross, but double jointed elbows definitely would have helped, because this is probably the best like I can do, honestly, because that's all I can do. Okay, now let's do a quick size comparison. So I'm going to compare Jack to another NECA figure. So here we have the recent Halloween Ends Michael Myers figure right here. And then let's compare him to a Marvel Legends. So here is just the Marvel Legends Carnage figure. So this should give you an idea of how tall Jack truly is. And he's like really tall. He's so tall I had to put him even further back, which is why the angle looks really weird like this. But I like it though. It's a really cool figure. I like that he's able to stand on his own, and he still looks great, and you know, articulation is really nice. And yeah, I like it, honestly. This is probably one of my favorite NECA figures of this year. I'm actually really impressed by this Jack Skellington figure. Alright, so that is going to wrap up this review on NECA's The Nightmare Before Christmas Jack Skellington figure. I actually really like this figure. There were a couple of things here that actually shocked me quite a bit. I think the head sculpt looks pretty good. The fabric for the tux is awesome. And the articulation isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Sure, it definitely could have been better around the wrist and ankles. I do think double jointed elbows and knees would have helped it better. But he is still pretty posable in a few spots. I do hate that he's lacking in accessories though. You would think they would add a bit more since it's the 30th anniversary, but they didn't, unfortunately. I will say it's a bit of an eyesore seeing the head sculpt on that ball peg, since the white plastic all over the body doesn't match the color of the head sculpt or the hands either. But other than those problems, I still enjoy myself with the figures, so if you like The Nightmare Before Christmas, then I think you're going to love this one. But let me know, what are your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If you want to pick this up, this is up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. You may still be able to get it on NECA's website as well. That's where I had mine pre-ordered, but I'm also not sure if they closed their pre-orders yet. But thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I hope you enjoyed the review. But until then, take care, my friends.